Good afternoon, Commissioner.
Senator.
I'd like to start off by just saying I appreciate the time you spent with me in my office earlier this week to talk about the budget. It is because of that I'll keep my questions fairly short. Much of the aid to localities has been cut out of this budget this year, and I know the Senate believes that those programs are extremely important to the farmers and continuing to grow their business. In the past, the executive has been supportive of making sure those programs are contained in the final budget. Could you tell me your feelings on those programs and whether you believe that the executive will be supportive in the end?
I think we have at the core here an excellent budget to help carry out our core mission at the department. It's been very exciting to me to be a part of so many good things that are happening in agriculture right now. And I think as you and I discussed, and I think we completely agree, there's a number of items on the local assistance budget that are critical to agriculture. And I certainly look forward to working with you and seeing how we can do an even better job on those items in this budget process.
As far as the market orders that are proposed to be transferred to ESD and also Pro Dairy being transferred to the EPF fund, I have a couple concerns there. First of all, on the market orders, I have never heard a complaint from the industry on market orders, so I'm fearful of allowing that to happen given the fact that we have no complaints and that we want it to continue to move as easily as possible. So that's a concern. And second, given the fact there are a number of competing interests under the EPF, moving Pro Dairy, which is an important program for agriculture, to compete in that is something that also concerns me.
Okay. With regards to the market orders, that is the industry's money, really. You know, that's market-based, and the money basically flows through our department. We chair advisory committees and oversee what they do with the money and pay attention to that. I think this is largely a great synergy and a great cooperative effort between us and our partners at Empire State Development. They've got great fiscal and great marketing capacity there. And we're still going to stay involved with the market orders. We're going to monitor them. The growers will still talk with us. But it shifts some of the burden of that regulatory part onto Empire State Development, where they have the capacity to do it. We have a pretty good history of working with Empire State Development. We do more things with them every year. They've been partners with us on tourism and agritourism, Taste New York, and our branding program going forward, New York Certified. So I think it's a good synergy for us, frankly. I don't think our growers will notice a difference in how their market orders perform. With regards to the EPF, you know, we saw the opportunity, and the governor made a big commitment to the Environmental Protection Fund. And I think looking at things that are environmentally focused in our budget, frankly, gives them a solid line over there at the EPF, and I think it's a good fit.
And I would like to ask a question about Cornell, which is our land-grant university. You know, I believe Cornell is very important to the state and helps us compete. It's responsible for cutting-edge research, and you know, in the past years, we haven't really kept up with the demand. I know research is critically important. The vet school is full. I'm just wondering your feelings on whether we are putting enough resources to help prop up Cornell, or if that's something we should definitely be looking at.
You know, we're so fortunate in New York State. When I think about the resources we have in our state, in our land, in our grower community, in our access to water, but I think also in our access to, you know, one of the best land-grant schools in the United States, and clearly a leader in food safety. We need more from Cornell as we go forward, and not less. And I think that these are discussions that we have with the dean, and I think Cornell is beginning to feel like a second home for me. We have great conversations with them about how we accomplish this. Certainly we need to do a lot more work with Cornell. You know, we're talking an awful lot about growing our marketplace in New York. That takes more than just put more things on the shelves. It takes growing the parking lot, which is our marketing and growing our back room and our warehousing, but it's going to need more research, more applied research to help us stay in front of our consumers. So I agree with you, look forward to working with you on that very much.
And just recently, the governor has invested a lot of money in the state fairgrounds. We have so much need in local fairgrounds across the state and have had no capital funds there. That's something that is, I think, a concern for many of us. And, you know, once again, would like to hear your feelings on whether you think our local fairs are important and we need capital funding to help make sure that they can stay viable.
Sure. Our state fair and our local fairs are both such important points of contact today between agriculture and the public. Farmers represent about 1% of the population right now, and that means 99% is off the farm. So here's a great point of contact between those two communities, and it's so important that we take care of that opportunity and make it a positive experience. So we're hearing from the county fairs. We talk with them quite often. As you know, I get to go to quite a lot of county fairs and get to talk to a lot of folks. Many of you have escorted me around your county fairs. Appreciate that. And I would agree that they could use an uplift, they could use a little help there, and I'd be happy to speak with you about that and hear your thoughts about that, very much so.
And last but not least, Farm Bureau came out earlier this week saying that it's going to cost farmers $500 million with a minimum wage increase, especially now with milk prices being low. We're trying to grow our #1 industry, and we don't want to do anything that's going to set them back. So could you tell me how you think our farmers are going to deal with the minimum wage increase?
I got the same email yesterday also from Farm Bureau. And as you know, I'm pretty close with Farm Bureau, pay a lot of attention to their thoughts. Let me just say, the governor has stated, and I would agree, that a reasonable minimum wage can help lift the standard of work, standard of living for all workers. Recognize that the proposal currently is installment plan for this, that upstate it would be different from downstate, and that by 2021 we're looking at full implementation. I think for us at the department, while a change is being contemplated here, my focus is going to remain on ways that we can cut costs for farmers, ways that we can improve the viability of farms in New York State. As you know, on a business statement, income and expense sheet, there are two sides. There's a lot of lines and there's two sides. And so if we can eliminate tolls on the thruway, if we can cut property taxes, if we can, look at our tax assessments, if we can make life easier for our farmers, if we can open more markets in the city, if we can open up more profitable markets for our farmers, that we're going to work in that direction. And I would add that as we go forward, recognizing that we need more workers in agriculture, not less, that we need more skilled workers in our new plants and our new industries, that we're going to need a particular focus on our rural youth. And I think this is something that's a little bit passionate for me, because I was a rural youth at one time looking for a job on a farm. And I think we're having some very exciting conversations with our Department of Labor about how we do that. The governor put in place an urban youth program, which has been pretty successful, and I would like to see our conversations about a rural youth program take hold. And again, great conversations going on with Department of Labor about that, about apprenticeships and about training that can carry us forward. I'm hearing from farmers and I'm hearing from Farm Bureau, and really we're hearing on all sides of the issue about how this will affect upstate New York, and we continue to monitor that and look at how the potential impacts will fall out, but we certainly want to hear your thoughts on that as well.
I'd just like to close by saying that you are keenly aware of the issue that we're having with the aging farmer, and it's been the Senate's one of the Senate's priorities to try to encourage young farmers into looking at agriculture as a field. And I know with this minimum wage proposal, I've received numerous calls from farmers saying they don't know how they're going to meet their bottom line if $15 goes into effect. And so I would just ask that you seriously look at the effect that's going to have, and that we try to stay the course and try to help grow our farms and be really aware, keenly aware of issues that may actually keep farms from growing and have the adverse effect.
Thank you, absolutely.
Thank you.